Hello, good evening, and welcome to another round of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race 2021 in Live for Speed. It's the penultimate championship round. There are 26 rounds this year, but the final round of the year is just a Rony's Tuesday fun race of sorts. Round 25 will actually be the championship finale. Tonight we're at we're using the MRT5 at Aston North Reversed. I'm Peter Butcher, you're watching Sim Broadcasts, and joining me in the commentary box tonight, it's Eoin Harmon. Eoin, good evening.
And good evening, Pete and the viewers. It's great to be back. It won't be for much longer, so I think the championship will really heat up now.
It certainly will. Let's have a look at the calendar. We have 23 rounds behind us. Tonight we are at round 24 of 25 in the championship. There's been a lot of rounds this season. It's been a good one. And tonight we're at AS7 Reverse. Next time out, we're at Fernbay Black in a slightly odd combination. All will be revealed next week. It's a long one, put it that way. Anyway, tonight, as I said, we are at AS7 Reverse. Let's have a look at the track in question. If you're not familiar with it, it has 18 corners and it is 5.2 kilometers, 3.2 miles long. We've had an hour of qualifying and we have a 13-lap race coming up at 7:10. Between qualifying and the race, we have a special announcement to make on the channel, so please stick around for that. We'll also replay it at the end of the race as well, in case you missed it. So, without any further ado, Owen, I think let's look at the car and then head to the track for qualifying. We've had 33 drivers set time so far in the MRT, the 0.6 litre turbocharged inline-4 rear-engined rear-wheel drive Formula student car with 64 horsepower and weighing in at 200 kilos. So it's pretty light and pretty fun around the twists and turns of Aston North Reversed, Owen.
Yeah, it's definitely got the potential to be an absolute joy to drive. But obviously with the low horsepower, you have to have a lot of patience, particularly when it comes to overtaking. Because if you're on that special gearbox and if you change gears too suddenly, you're going to either lose your revs or in the case where you hit first gear, you probably spin out because there is no first gear.
Yeah, this thing has a motorcycle box, so you end up shifting down a gear to go forwards a gear, which is a little bit bizarre for a car. But anyway, there we are. It uses a motorcycle engine. Currently, we've got Botsy leading the timesheets with a 2:10.11. Then it's Gabor, Unite, and Rick Cardle. So, side us in true form. The 2021 Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Teams Championship champions. God, that's a long thing, isn't it? Let's have a look at those standings and hopefully we'll be able to show the enormous list of everybody who's competed in the championship so far this year. It is Rick Cardle and Unite separated by a handful of points. That could still go either way in the 2 rounds that we have left this season, today and in 2 weeks' time. That is the end of the championship standings, but hopefully we'll get the intermediate ones as well. But yes, we have had 142 competitors this year, and it looks like these are going to come out in some sort of weird order, Owen. So we'll just let them scroll and go through the team's championship once it's done with its chosen order for today. There we are. Strange.
Yeah, it's all a bit jumbled up, but if you still see your name at any stage, give yourself a pat on the back. It's just a bit upside down and topsy-turvy stuff, but that's all in RTFR's fun, I suppose. It's all good. There's someone hitting the wall in the background there. Didn't catch who it was.
It was a good flip. I enjoyed that one. It was Jocks, actually, for 469. All right, I think I'm just about done with that random order of Drivers' Championships. Apologise for that, but let's have a look at the Teams' Championship. That's a far simpler graphic because it's just one screen. There we are. Team Sidus lead with a colossal 12 points, and they are this year's Teams' Championship champions. So they walk away with the majority of the prize money. So congratulations to them. We'll have the official prize giving, I guess, next time out. Once we've calculated all of the points for the drivers. But there we go. Race Green, the hosts in P2 with 528 points. World Class Lions, the sponsors for this series, in third place with 454 points. Born to Race in fourth. Master Race Car fifth. Frag Masters, Sim Broadcast, Safarades, Father and Sons Racing, and Alma Course round out the top 10. And Fortunato Racing Team there in 11th place. Back on the timesheets, it is still those 4 pesky Sidus drivers leading the way, showing everyone who's boss. Not that we need to know it anymore. They've dominated this series in the Teams Championship. Both of their drivers are at the top of the Drivers' Championship, Owen. And yeah, the story tonight is certainly going to be between Rick Cardle and Unite, because one of those two is going to win the Drivers' Championship either this week or next.
Indeed, they'll know in a unique car like the MRT that they just have to keep their heads down and focus. And then if they see each other, then just play fair and then see what happens. But yeah, the pressure, I feel, will be on Unite. He knows it could all be over, out of his control nearly. So we'll just have to see how they get on. With Ricardo just behind in fourth, that'll be the real pressure situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's building up for a lap, so he has the two final hairpins to go on the AS7 reverse lap before he will fling it into the final corner and hope that he doesn't get any traffic on this 2 and a bit minute lap, because, you know, he needs a lap. He's P4, he would love a front row start. These cars are tricky to drive, and they have a lot of exposed parts. 4 exposed wheels, which can get tangled up very easily, especially down into turn 1, because turn 1 is a downhill right-hand hairpin that tightens on the exit and has that horrible dip in the middle, Owen, and then a gravel trap, or grass rather, on the outside, which if you drop a wheel on that, that's going to play havoc. This uphill chicane is a bit of a non-event really in the MRT, other than the flying polystyrene barriers that can be thrown up by world-class tyres drivers binning it on the left as we head through this chicane and onto the back straight. Now this is where you can get your books out and read a chapter, maybe pop on Braveheart and maybe, I don't know, watch it twice, because it's quite a long back straight, this, especially in the MRT. It's broken up, of course, by a left-right kind of kink chicane. Again, a bit of a non-event, flat out in the MRT, no issues whatsoever. But there we are, Rick Cardle doing a bit of scrubbing there. So this might not be a timed attempt. In fact, he might just be warming up those front tyres. Possibly not happy with his first sector time. Yeah, he's backed off this lap, so he's going to go for another one, Owen.
Yeah, the track, it's quite vast, as we saw on the graphic earlier. But you just know if anything enters your racing line on a qualifying lap, that is an imminent threat to your speed. So even if these cars are particularly on the small side, yeah, if they even look at you the wrong way, you're going to have to adapt, and that will ruin your lap time. So if Rick felt his first sector time was disrupted through maybe a mistake or so, he'll just have to focus, and hopefully nothing distracts him on the next time by.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Rick and see what he does. He will cross start finish in plenty of time to set another lap. It's currently Botsy leading by over a tenth of a second just. Then it's Gabor, 4 tenths clear of Unite. Unite's a further 48 hundredths ahead of Rick. So it really is all on Rick now to see whether he can improve. He's dropped a wheel there on the grass on the right side of his car. That's not going to help him for the final chicane, final corner. Yeah, that's not ideal prep for your lap, especially when this is the last timed attempt that he will get in the session. Let's try once more to go on board with Rick Cardle and see how he handles this lap. Is it our championship leader? He needs to try and get ahead of Nico in qualifying, and that looks like a pretty smooth first corner. And as he makes his way up the corkscrew, Eau Rouge, whatever you want to call it, in Live for Speed on Aston, that looked pretty good too. Now, this is where he aborted his run last time. He got some scrub angle on the front going through the next right-hander. Talk amongst yourselves, Owen.
Yeah, could recite a bit of poetry at this stage, yeah.
Have you got any for us?
Not too many, unfortunately. I've forgotten a lot of my English poetry studies.
There we go. He did a lot more smoothly that time, so he must have been happy with his first sector. Of course, in the MRT, it doesn't have a lot of power, just 62 horsepower. If you scrub any speed, that hurts you for the rest of the straight, so you really have to be very, very gentle, very delicate on the steering. If you can hear any tyre squeal coming from any of these 4 wheels in the MRT, you're losing time, basically. That energy is being converted into sound, rubber on the road, and that's not ideal. And heat. Energy. Thank you, Chris. In my ear. Heat was the other one I was looking for. This looks like a pretty steady lap so far from Rick Cardle. Let's see what it will end up being. We've got a few places switching there, actually, in the dying stages. The timers hit 0, and Lorenzo and Oscar, I think, have displaced Pawlowski there. Master Race Car. So those two jumping up the order in the final few moments' time. A little bit of a lock-up on the rear there for Ricciardo as he drives down to the final chicane. There's a couple of cars littering the track, someone off on the left. 2 corners to go. These are really difficult braking zones. Really, the only events on the whole track, because, well, most of it's flat out. Anyway, there we go. That was one. Looked pretty good. 1 final corner to go for our championship leader. He misses the apex just about, but you don't really want to go on the curb there because it'll unsettle the differential at the back. So, up to start finish. Was it enough for Ricciardo on this lap to get anywhere near the front? No, it wasn't. Only 0.06 of a second improvement for Ricciardo. And he's ruined his engine. Anyway, other movers there. We saw, who was that? Was it Yaroslav jumping up into the top 10, pushing Kidd and Meronui down a place? Well, we'll have to see. I'm not sure who the final car is going to be. Let's see who else is coming around. We have, I think that's everybody, Owen. I think Thamuli might be the last car, but I don't think he's going to improve on this lap. So let's go down the results, Owen, and we will get this show on the road. So our pole sitter is not Ricciardo. That is the race results from last time. My apologies. Our pole sitter is Botsi, followed by Gabor. Then we've got Unite, Ricciardo, Lorenzo, Asker, Pabluski, Igor, Ryan Donny, and Yaroslav Donelik rounding out the top 10. A good qualifying session there for Yarda, and nice to see Donny got a good qualifying session again, because it's been a bit of a drought for him. He's had a few up and down races, but there we are, P9 for him. Meronui, Kidd, Timu Soini, Antonio, Cozzi, Michael Malik, Jocks, Yari Katilla, Luke, and Magic round out the top 20. In 21st, sorry, do you want to do it?
Do you want me? I thought I was going to do it.
Go for it.
Yeah, Tallenberg, the Hipmuli, Haichiroku climbs an X-Tough, 21st, 25th there with the other father and sons racing 7-9 there in 26th. Rony has number 27 there. Much Makari, Pumpshishnari, and ZFRL's NV. Yeah, sorry, good pun there. In 30th with SPTV's Falca, Tikvasha, LG Meath, Kig, and T-Wog.
Well, I'm glad you got that list. I'm glad I did the first lot. Anyway, thanks, Owen. Right, we have a little bit of a break before our 13-lap race. So we're going to do a bit of announcement, Owen. I always like doing announcements on the channel. Sit back and enjoy. That's right, Sim Broadcast presents Season 2 of Master Race Cars BF1 League. That will be kicking off this Sunday, the 28th of November, at 2:45 UTC. So we'll be heading to Kyoto National Reversed in the BF1 for the first round of 6 this season. Last season, I think it was 5 rounds, Owen. But yes, we have 6 rounds concluding on Sunday, the 27th of February, 2022. Scary words, at Westhill International. So actually, yes, our first scheduled broadcasts into the new year. Oh, I can't wait for that. We will have Tom Jones and Travis Mellinger on commentary for most of those rounds, and I may or may not be showing up in the commentary booth from time to time as well. We're really looking forward to that on Sim Broadcasts, and we hope you are too. If you're thinking of entering that series, you can do. Sign-ups are still open on the Lift for Speed forum in the Master Race Cars BF1 League Season 2 forum section. We'll play that great trailer again at the end, but if you want to watch it in the meantime, it's on YouTube on Master Race Cars channel. In fact, I think it's on Gemini's channel, who is one of the organisers. Either way, it's on the LFS forum. Go and sign up. It'll be great. And we're here to broadcast all 6 rounds from next Sunday, or this Sunday, the 28th, at 2:45 UTC. Owen, back to tonight's action, round 24 at Aston North Reversed. Like I said, Sidus have already sealed the deal in the Teams Championship, but it's all still to play for in the all-important Drivers' Championship. Let's flash up those graphics once again, shall we? In fact, no, let's not do that because they're in the wrong order, so that will look silly. It is Rick Cardle and Unite right at the top with a very, very small margin. So if Rick wins tonight and Unite doesn't have a good result, Owen, I reckon it's gone the way of Rick Cardle.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'll be curtains if Rick puts in a dominant victory or any kind of victory really, and then or Unite has something go wrong. But if it's the inverse, then things will look totally different, but we'll be guaranteed a showdown at the conclusionary round if we see Unite gain a huge points haul.
Yeah, we have 3 minutes to go until we find out who's going to win the battle down to turn 1 at Aston North Reversed. It's normally pretty frantic, isn't it? And yeah, you don't want to lock wheels in the MRT because you're going to get flipped because, it's a lot of exposed tyre for a tiny car with a very short wheelbase, and it's very light as well, so it flips a lot. It's had an update, actually, during the test patch phase. If you head to the Live for Speed forum, head to the test patch forum and download the new nice shiny mods update. You can check out the new RB4 and the new MRT. It's got slightly wider tyres, slightly lower profile as well, I think, which makes it, all in all, a little bit more of a different car. We actually wanted to run it this round, but we thought, well, we may as well run the rest of the season. It's only 2 rounds left on the full, I guess, the stable LFS patch, if you like. So hopefully in the next season of RTFR next year, there will be a few more rounds using the new mods update. There was a round last week, in fact, that used one of the mods. We weren't involved in that, but we hear it was a good success, and a lot of people enjoyed driving the mods in a race scenario in RTFR. So that's lots of exciting things to look forward to for next year. So before we go racing, just to highlight, we are broadcasting 6 rounds of the Master Race Car BF1 League. Go and check it out on the forum. We'll play the trailer again at the end of the race. Owen, 2 minutes to go. I'm looking forward to this. The MRT is a great car.
Yeah, it's obviously the kind of car you wouldn't find anywhere else. It's got the right sort of uniqueness, I suppose, that a game like LFS can really thrive upon. It's just a real test of the driver's skills, even if it is the kind of car you would see at a driving school at a racetrack, rather than something you'd want to see necessarily tuning in with a ticket on a Sunday.
Yeah, it does take place on a Sunday. It doesn't clash with any F1 rounds as far as I'm aware, so that's pretty good too. And yeah, it will take us through the winter when we generally don't see much racing on TV, so that's good. All right, 1 minute to go. The drivers are just about getting ready for the racing action. So yeah, it's been quite a year, hasn't it, Owen? I mean, we took up the RTFR coverage. You've been with me pretty much the whole year. We've seen some absolutely awesome battles. We've seen Sidus dominate, but it hasn't all gone their way. We've had some surprise drivers popping up in the top, especially drivers like Mandula, who've been participating week in, week out. I didn't see Mandula's name on the qualifying list actually today, so he's not here. But another driver who we need to look out for is Iron Donny. He has impressed us this year. He's improved and climbed up through the order. Likewise, Yaroslav Donlik and Lorenzo as well. He's had yet another good qualifying session here today, and he joined the Race Green team recently as well, which is a nice new addition to their roster.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see the familiar names, but obviously we can welcome in new drivers as they wish to join, and if they have to leave as well, that's no problem. So I'll be looking forward to maybe even more participants in the 2022 campaign. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to join in with next year's season if it goes ahead. Obviously, just keep an eye out on the Race Green area of the LFS forum and to see what the news is for RTFR 2022. We are gridding up now for the race. Owen, please take it away for the start.
Yeah, let's have a fun race. That's the name of the game, with the championship at stake as well. You just can never tell what will happen next. But that's all the drivers. That's how they want to play. So here we go, and away, getting a good start. Everybody has to be on their toes. Straight away onto the inside line. Botsy holds onto the lead, but Gabor under pressure from Unite. Unite knows he's got to get a move on if he's going to have any chance of a championship battle. And there you go. You can see everybody sweeping through the first curve. Oh, we may have a collision there. Yes, that's a collision at the back. Tikvasha involved there, trying to get the car going again. No, that's a drop actually. Tikvasha is out. So we're down a driver already. Everybody side us are in a massive train here. Unite. In the battle with Gabor and Botsy. He's going to hang back for a bit, see what happens.
Yeah, I'm also noticing that Rick Cardle did not get an ideal start. He's under pressure here from Lorenzo's. We've got someone spinning out there. Who was it? Was it Pavlovsky?
It's
Pavlovsky
in the gravel,
dropping down the order. Yeah, and he's stuck. So that's his race over.
Livery is beached, I'm afraid.
Oh, goodness me. Unite's going for an attack. Gabor currently leads Botsy down to third. Rick Cardle's caught right up here, and he's brought Lorenzo with him. There's some drama further down, but let's stick with this lead pack as they head through the sweepers for the first time. Rick Cardle is right back in this after a pretty slow start, it has to be said.
Unite battling for the lead now. He could take a peek at the inside line, but Gabor shuts it out. It is a very dangerous, complex corners coming up. And you can see just how close things are at the moment. Unite may, well, in a faster car with more downforce, be tempted to go on a wider line with this inside corner coming up, but he just didn't fancy it. Would have been too risky. Yeah, so far so good. Unite will be pleased with this. Rick just has to stay calm. He knows he's got his teammates ahead of him. He can't do anything too foolish. With Lorenzo there in a Fanta-inspired livery, trying to break that that real domination. He's doing a good job of it so far.
Yeah, he really is. He's right there, and he needs to stay there because anything can happen with these four. Look, they're all scrapping. Unite is absolutely well. He's trying to get to the front of this field because he has to. Gabor sets the fastest lap because he led the first lap at the line. Unite needs to get ahead because he needs to try and get away from Rick if he wants any chance of closing that gap before the final round for the Drivers' Championship. We hear that Igor is timing out the server, so we could have one driver out due to a network connection. But let's see, Unite trails Gabor by only, well, there's kind of a car's length in between them as they head onto the back straight. Unite, even though this car has a very small footprint, two-wheeling it through there, he will have a really nice slipstream. He moves to the outside, which will be the inside for the next corner. And it looks like he is ahead. So change for the lead temporarily. He's gone wide actually on the exit. Oh, he needs to keep that on the AstroTurf. He has. Gabor is going to be side by side with him as they head down to the hairpin, Owen.
Yeah, it's deep breaths here as Botsy is going to follow Unite onto the outside line.
Oh, he's gone deep.
Maybe a bit too deep. Oh, actually, it's worked out okay. Botsy is now following Gabor, so anything that Gabor does, Botsy have to react in a flash. And in fact, Rick goes for a dive. He's spotted a small opportunity, and it's gone backward. Or Unite has gone backwards now, leaving Rick Cardle available to battle him.
Yeah, but look at Lorenzo here. He's there as well. This is the team. This is the Drivers' Championship 1 and 2. Rick Cardle now back ahead of Unite. And look at Lorenzo. Oh, almost contact. Lorenzo could have, he could affect the Drivers' Championship here, depending on where he positions his car. He's on the inside for the next corner. No, he's not. He's dropped back. Unite goes for a send, though. Goodness me, this is all tightening up. Lorenzo is playing a dangerous game here. He doesn't want to make any contact with Unite, else he's going to be super cross. Unite needs to regroup. Oh, but he's going to lose a place. He has indeed. He's lost a place to a bottle of Fanta. He's trying a switchback here in his Converse training shoe. Brilliant livery, that.
Yeah, it's genius. But yeah, Lorenzo advantage heading into lap 3. But Unite does get the better drag out of the corner. But I still fancy Lorenzo to have a say in this next segment of laps. But Iron Donny is in camera shot too. He's got an opportunity here if Lorenzo or Unite slip up.
Yeah, Donny,
As
with
a
all
matter
the
of fact, had the
scrapping,
fastest lap. Yeah.
he has indeed. With all the scrapping that was going on ahead of him, he's just been putting in the good lap. And it is Gabor who, after all of that, has emerged at the front. And he's now got a half-second gap over Botsy, who is a dab hand in the MRT. You do not want to be meeting Botsy on a good day in an MRT because he will just run all over you. Rick Cardle then up to third place after starting in fourth, and Unite, the big story, down to P4. He has got a bit of a gap to Lorenzo now. That'll be good for him. He can just focus and try and move further. What have we got going on further back?
It's Jocks versus Tallenberg for the 11th position. Tallenberg won't be able to hang on to the grip much longer, but he does a fantastic job. Kept it on the circuit. And also in the strike zone is the Hifmuli, currently 13th. Waiting to see what happens in front.
Iron Donny has moved past Lorenzo. He did it into the hairpin, and that means that Donny, with that fastest lap, has decided to make a charge. He's made a move. He's made a move on Lorenzo, and it looks like it's stuck for now. And this is good news for Unite. If he's looking in his two tiny rear view mirrors here, in his wing mirrors, he will see these two scrapping, and that's just what he needs because he needs to get his head down and close up that gap to Rick Cardle.
Yeah, it's time to look forward, not backwards for Unite. The Himuli in pursuit again of Jocks, as Tallenberg is able to break away for the moment, but with so many laps still to go, it's almost impossible to get a domination as the Himuli charges on the inside, loses the back end a tiny bit. No change. Jocks retains the position for now, with further hairpins to come.
Yada just got past Extoff. He's not had a brilliant start as Yada. He was on the cusp of the top 10, and now he's down to 16th, so not a good start for him. So he needs to make up places as well. Gabor takes the fastest lap with a 6/10th advantage over his teammate Botsy. Then it's Rick Cardle as they all sweep into the first hairpin. Unite still there. Look at how consistent, and the gap between these top four. There's nothing. 2 seconds separate the top four. Then it's the best of the rest. It's Donny, Lorenzo, Asker trying to catch up to Lorenzo now in that world-class Lions livery. Merenwe in P8. Then it's Cozzy, BMW Cozzy there in P9, and it is Race Queen's Magic who rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, that's another very interesting livery from Magic, more racing orientated rather than a clever use of space. But anyway, we focus back on Lorenzo. Let's see if Arska has anything to do with him now. Arska doing a good job here for World Class Lions. Arska having a look on the inside, maybe. Now he's going to follow Lorenzo for a bit longer.
Oh, Beppo Sachs in the wall. That was hard. That was around Climbs area, and Climbs has got who's that all over him? Rony's right back there, and Tilo Falkenberg in that mix as well. In the old Heroes of Racing livery, I like that.
Rony was doing outside. Well. Yeah, Rony had a good start, but it's disappeared on him just a little bit. Envy, Bum Shasnarsi, they're also competing for a position, trying to get into that top 20. And I think Bum Shasnarsi has to back off for just a little bit. Yeah, I think those drivers will enter formation for a bit, but now we resume with our top 5, top 6 battle.
Yeah, I want to say Donny is catching Unite. Ever so slightly. It's not by much, and we are running out of laps. We're already on lap 4, about to be lap 5. But Donny has not given up, and he smells blood. He wants to get involved in this Sidus battle at the front. He's climbed his way up to P5, and as Lorenzo actually gets under attack from Asker will pull into the slipstream, trying to get back through start finish and into turn number 1. Is there enough road? He's thinking about it. He's darting around. Will he go for Ascend? It's a risky place to go for Ascend because of how off camber the corner is.
No, he backed off a lot earlier into the corner, Pete. It was about 100 meters. He just stabilized the speed. He didn't fancy the lunge at all.
Right at the back, we've got a battle. 3 cars squabbling out. That is LG Mies, Kig, and Timu Soini. It is currently Kig who leads this one. And let's see if there's a return move from Mies as we head down into the first corner. That's what we expect to see. Some sort of lunge. and it forced Kig off. So Kig actually did not have to do that because Mies, he backed out of it at the last minute, and he's been sold a dummy there, Owen.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one. It happens to me all the time. As Teemu Soini goes off, able to keep it in the straight line, but he did hit the wall, so that's a bit unfortunate.
At the front, we've got Magic and Jocks side by side coming into the hairpin, and this is going to be close. This is we're watching Jocks with Magic bearing down on him. Oh, sorry, other way around. Magic bearing down on Jocks, but it looks like Jocks has maintained position. What's going on elsewhere, Owen?
Looks like Falca is having a go as Envy is probably, I think that's Envy through, as a matter of fact, must have happened earlier on.
Exoff, bad exit.
Goes wide, yeah.
Super bad exit, losing a whole load of places there. That promotes Tilo into the top 20, does it? Nope, 21st.
Yeah, Rony is the top of the tree in that range of cars. Yeah, I think Thilo wants a little bit more of Envy. If it's possible, this is probably the follow the leader sector of the track. It's just really, really difficult to pull off any overtakes around here unless you're already side by side. But then with the 15-meter boards coming up very soon, there should be an overtaking point. But now we look at Jari Katela versus the Himuli into the final hairpin before the start finish. And further back, we've got Hachiroku taking on Xtoff for 23rd position. But there's plenty more battles in front of them as well. So we'll see who has a slipstream battle. SPTV's Falca using as much of that curb as he can. He has the nose ahead. If you can just find the braking zone. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Envy lost momentum there. Got too high on the curb. And Hachiroku on the outside. Just Narcy on the inside. Oh, that was the recipe for pain, I'm afraid. It was worth a try, but no, just a little too late, I thought.
It really wasn't worth a try. 3 wide into the bottom of the corkscrew. You're mad, Owen.
Well, there was a fraction he could have tried, but no, it was gone.
Cos is having a go at Merenwe into the hairpin. He's trying it around the outside. Didn't quite work on that Nyan Cat MRT of Merenwe. And at the front, the story is that there is now a 2 and a bit second gap between Unite and Donny. So Unite has, he's focused forward, and Donny just doesn't have the pace right now to catch up to those top 4 as we continue to watch this battle between Cozzy and Merenwe for the top 10. Oh, that was super close. You don't want to touch wheels in the MRT. Absolutely is a red area. And they go side by side again, and Cozzy's done it.
Fantastic move. It left Merenwe with no alternative. It allows Tallenberg to sweep by as well. Yeah, it's such a terrible place to lose your speed. We've now got Jari versus the Himuli again. It's such a real drag to make sure you don't hit the back of the opposing driver there, with a tight hairpin sequence coming up for the second time now.
There are certain combos in Live for Speed that do not give us, the commentators, a break, and AS7R in the MRT appears to be one of them. This has been 6 laps now of frantic action, and Yari's got that position. But look who else is looking fast now. The Sidus guys are bunching up. Botsy's found some pace. He's worked out how, or rather remembered how to drive the MRT, and he's closing the gap to his teammate. 0.3 of a second now separates our leaders. And that is coming down all the time, I think. We'll get an update at the sector time, which is just at the crest of this hill. And we will see what that gap actually is after they cross the sector time.
Yeah, the speeds between first and second are virtually equalized, as the slipstream doesn't really kick in that far away. But the downhill actually makes a difference to these cars. You can gain a few extra miles an hour with the little dip.
Themuli and Jari side by side down to the end of the first part of the back straight. That is Themuli having a go on the inside now. He'll be on the outside going through the second part. Will he choose to stick it in? No, he won't. He backs out of it. Probably the better idea, to be honest. And try it down into the hairpin. He moves to the inside. Jari chooses not to defend that. And it's advantage to Themuli as they come into the hairpin. Yari forced to the outside. Might come under attack from Yaroslav Donelik as well, who is climbing up the places, but still side by side. Let's watch this from Yaroslav's point of view. Fireworks may ensue.
Oh, very good run here from Donelik. Just changed up. There was a rough gear change, has to be said.
Well, yeah, using the clutch actually to change gear. It's a technique the drivers like to use in the MRT to avoid any loss of revs or loss of power during gear changes as we head up the hill. And the car's using a lot of curb as they try to find their position. Thamuli's going to try and go for the inside again on Yari. What's Yari going to do? He's going to stay back. Thamuli goes for a send. This could be a disaster. There's contact. And Yaroslav is right there to grab a line on Yari Katila. He's following Thamuli through.
He can use all of that AstroTurf as he pleases. Oh, there's nearly a three-way collision as Yari forcefully defends, but it's all fair as we head into the 8th lap for these drivers. But the leaders are already charging towards that Eau Rouge style corner. And
yeah, that's how far ahead they are. I mean, that was a battle just outside the top 10, and our leaders, our top 4 Sidus drivers, are nearly at Sector 1. Botsi then has dropped back ever so slightly on Gabor. Gabor is doing a great job out front, but here is our championship leader, Rick Cardle, leading second place man, Unite. This is the battle then for the Drivers' Championship. Here's Yarda again, and he has made the place on Yari. Yari's had an issue at the beginning of this lap because Thamuli is in front as well. Oscar and Lorenzo side by side into the corner at the end of the back straight, and Oscar running the long way round, and he's done it. Could be under threat again at the end of the straight, will he? No, Lorenzo chooses not to go for that move. And Donny finds himself sort of in no man's land. He's got 3.8 seconds ahead of him now to the Sidus guys. But, 5th place and, just behind the Sidus drivers, that's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, that is very respectable. The top 7 have all cut away. They're very, very comfortably ahead of everyone else. But Arska still having to defend. But let's focus on the championship contenders. Rick and Unite so close now. But anything too cavalier at this point will probably backfire. And there's more defense work from Rick. And this pretty much the final stretch of the race now. Lap 9 is coming up.
Unite's not had a good exit.
Can't do much here.
Unite's not done a lot. Let's see what we got. So as they head on to lap 9, Unite is just probably inside his head. He's thinking, what do I need to do to beat Rick here? He's gone wide again, actually, into the first corner. You don't want to do that. That just seemed like almost like a loss of concentration there for Nico. Very unusual running that wide in the first corner. Takes a chunk of grass as well, does Rick there. These guys don't want to be touching the grass in the MRT. Slick tyres, you do not want to pick up any dirt on those tyres. So up ahead it is Gabor, who's opened up another 10th and a bit, 2 tenths nearly on the last lap over Botsi. Iron Donny, best of the rest, P5. Then we've got Oscar, P6. Lorenzo, P7 for race green. Cozzy, Magic, and Merrin, we round out the top 10. We've got some frantic action going on behind. This is SBTV Kid, who's caught up to the back of Yaroslav Donelik. And it looks like Kid's made that move on Yaroslav. Quite a nice move on the back straight. He came out of nowhere, really. He was possibly building that up for a few laps, but and also going defensive, so he really wants to keep it. Yaroslav's going to think about going for a return move on the outside. Quite difficult to hold the line around the outside. You need a car with a bit more power and downforce to manage something like that. But maybe just trying to get back in the slipstream for an attempt later on. Not too difficult to follow in these cars. They're not very fast, so any aero effect, any drop off or loss of grip is negligible really through these corners. So Yaroslav may have a go here. He's going to the inside, is he? No, he's dropping behind. Oh, and this is fun, and we only have 4 laps to go.
Yeah, this is a great demonstration of the skills on show. Even if the name of the game is to have fun, they're showing everything they've got and more. As Kid does a great job with that last corner. He got quite close to Yargitilla without being aggressive, so nicely taken there. And Yaroslav will have to try another plan to see if he can get that 14th place.
Yeah, this is the closest battle on track, I think. Oh no, hang on. What? There we go. So our leaders are having a scrap again. We've got Rick Cardle just now ahead of Unite, and Unite potentially within slipstream range, heading onto the back straight. This is for crucial points in the championship for Unite. He has to finish ahead. He does not want to finish behind Rick Cardle at the end of the next 4 laps.
Yeah, he's got the little extra boost he needs, but the placement is what counts here. He takes a look in his mirror. Yeah, he's got the first corner done. Can he hold it for the second? No, I don't think he has. They're going to be side by side for the uphill right-hander. Tiny advantage to Unite, but it's barely a car length. What will Rick do? He decides to hold off for the moment. And he'll have to think on his feet. If he can get this position back, he may have the chance now. The left-right sequence. Yeah, he's got it straight back, so well done to Rick there. Not your conventional overtaking point. That's the MRT for you. Anything can happen.
This is fantastic. Scrap to the end. Teammates leaving racing room for each other, but ultimately there's prize money at stake for this battle at the end of next week, or 2 weeks' time rather. So let's see, when will the handbags come out, Owen?
Well, I hope never, but the stress can certainly boil over if something unexpected happens. We did see Tallenberg drop out there, and it was an unusual one. It was like he was out with a map or something. I didn't quite catch exactly what it was, but he was out of bounds, and it ended up ending his race.
Unite going a gear lower than Rick through the second to last corner, and choosing to stay in third for the final corner. But that gap is crucial. That is out of slipstream range for an attempt into the first corner of lap 11. 3 to go for our championship leaders. Botsy still with the fastest lap, half a second between him and Gabor. Oh, Unite taking risks.
Unite.
He's run wide. That could be it. That could be it.
Yeah, he wanted to commit 101%, and the 1% caught him out there. That's a shame. And I think Rick, he won't be breathing a sigh of relief, but he'll definitely be able to follow his usual lines now that he has the second advantage he would have craved not too long ago. But the leaders are not too far away from each other either, just half a second. That's very, very marginal. But again, Gabor's got the consistency necessary to keep him far enough ahead for the moment.
Yeah, Gabor will be a little bit upset. I think maybe a bit annoyed that he wasn't able to, challenge in the end for the drivers' championship. But he'll be happy his teammates are up there, doing Silas proud. Of course, Gabor was instrumental in that team winning the teams championship for RTFR. If it finishes like this, the drivers' championship battle will go down to the final round of RTFR, unless Unite for some reason doesn't finish. Still enough points left, and there's not a large enough gap. Only 14 points between these two for it to make a difference into the final round. Every single point counts, though, for Unite at this stage. He does not want to finish behind his teammate and open that gap up even more into the final round. As we lose another driver from the race. I didn't catch quite who that was.
It was Envy, unfortunately. Might have been a driver error. I'm not sure. Oh, it was disconnection, I think. I'm not exactly sure. I was paying attention to Rony. He got an overtake against Climbs for 17th place. It was disconnection, maybe, yeah. Botsy puts in the fastest lap at 2 minute 10.46. And there is just 2 laps to go after this. So this is his last major opportunity to perform an overtake on the track. But again, it's about half a second It's come down to about 4 tenths actually, but I still think it's about that kind of range, so it's not enough to get a slipstream done, unfortunately.
Yeah, Botsy's not managed to get that slipstream. Someone else is in a battle. It's the Million Kid again. So Kid's managed to get through to the front of this little pack, and that promotes him up to 12th. For now, the Millie has been another driver who's impressed us, Owen, hasn't he? He was a late entry into the RTFR season. Did a few rounds and qualified near the back and kind of made some progress, but in the later races, getting into the mix. We're hearing that Rick Isles spun. Oh, we missed it on the broadcast. Rick Isles spun. Was it on his own? We'll get some information. But that has moved Unite up to third, which is crucial. Lorenzo's got stuck as well, so something's happened. Might have been related, not sure. Lorenzo is unrelated to that incident apparently, but that's bad for Lorenzo. He was doing very well, P6, and that will be a DNF for him.
Yeah, I just saw, I was looking at Unite's point of view a moment ago. He was closer to Rick heading into the left-right sequence. I doubt it was a collision. It wasn't a case of a collision. I don't think they were close enough for that, but maybe Rick just made a small misjudgment and lost the position.
Chris has run into the video room to find out what on earth happened between Unite and Rick Cardle. What that does mean for us is that Unite is now in third place, which is ahead of Rick Cardle for, these two are, they're going to take it to the final at this rate. There is one lap to go in this race, and the Drivers' Championship, if it finishes like this, will come down to the final round. Rick cut the grass, we're hearing. He went across, or caught the grass rather, as we have our leaders in a battle. We have Magic stuck as well, but we're going to watch this lead battle. So Magic is also stuck. So drivers deciding to wait till the last 2 laps to cause us some drama here. And Owen, it looks like Botsy might have a run here.
Yeah, this is a glorious opportunity for Botsy. It's come at the exact right time where there's very few opportunities left to counter punch. And here we go. Gabor merges all the way to the inside. Can't get any close to the white line without trying, but Botsy will now have the inside when they turn to the right in this sequence. Gabor just have to, grip the wheel and see what happens. Can he force switch to the inside? No, Botsy's got it made on the last lap. He now takes to the deep inside, just hogging all that white line area. Now they're nearly wheel to wheel. Botsy will gain the traction here, but we've seen it before. It's possible to overtake around here. Botsy still defending as gruffly as he can without bending the rules. Can Gabor find that space? It's still defense mode for Botsy. Yeah, he's looking. He won't use any more of the tarmac until the last moment. It does open up space for Gabor. Gabor not through just yet, but with the next corner being a sweeping left before the first hairpin right, anything could change here, Pete. This is extraordinary.
Oh, what a way to finish the race. Botsy just not able to. Oh, there's contact. No, but Botsy's actually got a better run, has he? He's going to be on the outside, though. Gabor might have this still. Yeah, he has a nose ahead, so Gabor has the advantage into the first of the 2 hairpins. This is going to come down to the wire, but can Botsy hold it around the outside? He's great at this. He'll have the inside for the final corner, and that's what you want. Advantage Botsy here. Gabor's going for the switchback. He gets a nice bit of rotation, but it is Botsy who leaves the final corner in the lead. He goes immediately defensive over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be side-by-side across the line. Who's going to get it? It's Botsy. Yes. Takes the win in round 24. What a finish.
0.04 of a second. That's all it takes. Sometimes a fantastic drive. And Unite as equal fastest lap with Botsy there. So fantastic work from these teammates, putting on an absolute thriller for us today. Rick Cardle will be disappointed with that mistake, costing him that third place, and it could prove very valuable in the championship.
Yeah, this race goes down as one of the highlights of my year, and we haven't shut up for about half an hour. And we were treated to a very, very nice finish between Botsy and Gabor. Botsy held a very, very nice, battle and position at the front for almost the entire race. And then, as Botsy likes to do on the final lap, he struck, and he held that position in the end. But it wasn't it wasn't straightforward. Rick Cardle, an unforced error, sees him drop down to 4th place where he started. He did get ahead of Unite, his championship rival, but yeah, not enough in the end. Unite and Rick will take the battle to the final round in 2 weeks' time. Round 25 of the championship, we'll see our Drivers' Championship champion crowned, and it will be either one of Rick Cardle or Unite. Rick Cardle will have an advantage, but it's not by a lot, and anything can happen in 2 weeks' time. 14 points the gap between those two drivers going into round 25. In 5th position, it was Iron Donny who drove a really nice race, finishing 9 seconds off the lead in the end. Then Oscar picking up that position because Lorenzo beached his car on the back straight. Unfortunately, a DNF for him. Marineri came across the line in P7, a nice finish for him. Climbed up the order. See what I did there, Owen? P8. Then it's Jocks and Kid rounding out the top 10. Yari Gatilla, Yaroslav Donelik, Thamuli, Rony, Climbs. It wasn't Climbs, it was Kozi. Ruined my own joke. Then it's Hachiroku, P16, Xtoff, P17, Bumshnazi, P18, Kig, P19, and Motti Makari, P20. Then we've got LG Mies finishing in 21st. Who else are we waiting for here? That is everybody. Mies was the last of our 21 finishes. Quite a lot of drop-off, and quite a lot of drop-off in the final few laps, Owen. We must have lost quite a few drivers while we were focusing on the lead.
Yeah, big casualties, I'm afraid. But we'll certainly study the leaderboard, find out a bit more. But yeah, we've run through the order, but we reflect on a fantastic 13 laps today. Botsy, Gabor, Unite, and Rick Cardle all proving their domination. But the battles they put up were absolutely exemplary. But credit also for the likes of Donny, Arska, Mernui, Kossi, Jocks, and Kid. That was a tough top 10 to break into, but they all got there. That's a great job. Yargtila wasn't. Some things weren't going his way, but then must have rebounded from, and he got 11th place. Donnelly was also on camera a lot with 12th place, as well as the Hitmuli there. Rony gained a lot of positions from qualifying. That was great. Then we have climbs there, Hachiroku, all within the minute of the leader. But then Xtoff bumped Chesnari, Kig, Motti Makari, the top 20. And now we've LG Mies, the last of the finishers. But you can see the chaos ensued from, well, certainly the last lap 8 or 9 onwards. We can see Soini, Tallenberg, and Falca all gone in the space of a few laps there. Zeta Farrell's Envy also dropped out, as well as Magic, who did who performed a spin and couldn't recover from it. And then there were plenty of other drivers unlucky at the very start. I'm looking at Beppo and Tikvosha. They weren't able to get very far. Lorenzo, also very disappointing. That was a good run early on, but just faded away.
Thanks for that, Owen. I've just about got my breath back. 2 minutes 10:43 was Botsy's fastest lap, and 0.04 of a second then the gap between the first and second place drivers at the end of the race. That was a fantastic one. If you enjoyed that, then please tune in 2 weeks' time to the finale of the 2022 season of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in Live for Speed. Oh, Owen, I think we could chat for ages about that race. Yeah, definitely one of my favourites of the year, a highlight for me in terms of like any racing action we've seen in Live for Speed this year. It's always great when you get a nice combo, drivers are able to battle wheel to wheel and put on a grandstand finish like that.
You bet. It makes all the volunteering work and the organisation, it really rewards it when we see things like that. And indeed, the fact that we also have it on camera so you can enjoy it over and over again for our viewing pleasure. That's what really makes this sim racing as enjoyable as it is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for round 24 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in Live for Speed. We hope you can join us next time for a race at a custom configuration at Firm Bay. That will be an interesting one for sure. It makes use of quite a few different roads around the Firm Bay environment in Live for Speed, and that will take place in 2 weeks' time. And so, yes, we hope you can join us for that. Before we sign off here today, we will play the MRC BF1 Season 2 trailer for you. Of course, 6 rounds of that coming your way towards the end of this year and the beginning of next. It kicks off this Sunday, the 28th of November at 2:45 UTC with coverage here. Qualifying starts a bit earlier than that, but we will cover the final 10 minutes and then the whole 2-hour race. If you want to find out more information about that series, you can on the Live for Speed forum at lfs.net. And look at the Master Race Car Season 2 of their BF1 Series forum. That's all from us, Owen. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. One more to go of the championship, and then we have a RTFR fun race, non-championship fun race edition thingy for round 26. Thanks a lot, Owen. It's been a blast.
You're welcome, Pete, and so long, everybody.
Cheers, dude. Christopher.